It was my birthday, Jake.
No way.
I am officially older. One more year around the sun.
That's
incredible. It was an okay birthday. I spent most of it hanging out by myself, going around, doing things I enjoy doing. I did some writing. I did some reading. I drank some beer. I drank some wine.
Nice.
I had a steak. And I did something I've never done before, Jacob.
What did you do?
I got tattooed.
Ah, look at you.
I know.
Boy.
I paid a person to take some
too,
needles.
You gonna beat up kids behind the dumpsters?
I'm not gonna beat up anyone behind a dumpster. I might get beaten up behind a dumpster.
Okay.
That's entirely possible. But I am a lover, not a fighter, Jake. You know this.
I don't. I think it's the opposite, but okay.
Fair enough. And I already have my leather jacket. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So I'm not going to tell you what my tattoo is. I am going to let you and the listenership play a little game. Little game for my amusement, because I'm a wicked game master.
Yeah,
I'm like
even though
running...
it was my idea to do the game, but yeah, it's your your amusement.
It's K-Fab Jacob. We have to believe it if we want them to believe it.
Like Santa and the Easter Bunny.
Like wrestlers. Yes.
Okay. Like wrestlers.
Yeah, like wrestlers. So I'm going to give you 4 options of things that potentially could be my tattoo.
Okay.
And you have to pick. And listeners, if you want to participate, write it in the comments, and we'll pause the video and read the comments, and then we'll all go back and listen to it together, and it'll be very fun.
Yeah, okay, that's definitely something that's possible, yeah.
Yeah. So, first option is Spider Jerusalem's glasses from Transmetropolitan.
Okay.
Second option is the 12-pointed shape from Nonagon Infinity, the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album. Third option is the Right Hand of Doom from the Hellboy comics, Anung Unrama, Hellboy's right hand. And fourth and final option is the VeryReasonablePilots podcast logo.
All right, it's definitely not D. And based on you,
yeah,
it's not A or C either, because when Charlie struggles to come up with something, he picks something that's near him, and those are 2 books that I'm assuming he has in his room that are near him. So I think it's B. I think it's the shape.
You think it's the Nonagon Infinity? Wrong, bitch. It's it's Spider Jerusalem's glasses. If you're unfamiliar with the comic book Transmetropolitan, the protagonist is a gonzo journalist in like a crazy cyberpunk future society, and he wears these like weird glasses where one of the eyes is like a rectangle and the other one is a circle. And so I got those the glasses shape on my arm, on my bicep.
Does it
I don't have my
around,
phone,
or is it small?
It's small. I'll send it to you right now, Jacob. Actually, 1 second.
I'm very surprised. I feel like those other things must have been in the room, so that's why he picked them. Because that's usually what Charlie does. He just like looks around something at the room. That's why
I do like to do that.
All of his character names are sort of picked from that.
Yeah,
I think you mentioned in episodes of the podcast before.
I do like to look around and then just kind of come up with shit. I was looking at my record collection, and King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard's Nonagon Infinity was up top, so you're right, technically. And I do have Transmetropolitan and Hellboy comics all around me. Not all around, but you know what I mean. They're in my bookshelf.
Wow, your arm's pretty pale. You should go outside more.
I do go outside. What do you think, Jake? You're the only person whose approval I need.
I have no thoughts, really.
Damn.
I already made my joke. I'll tell my joke again if you want about tattoos. I stole it. This is a stolen joke from a PSA that was in a machinima years ago. But
hello, everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles. Along with me, as always, my co-host, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. How you doing today, Jacob?
I am swell, Charles, and excited for another episode of the podcast. We pitch TV shows every single week. New episodes, new storylines, new characters, new frickin' worlds, all packaged into these exciting little shows and pilots we come up with. as well as occasional short stories, plays, films, and the media devices. Any way you can package a story, we're probably doing it or done it, or maybe we're thinking about possibly eventually doing it.
Ad campaign.
Yeah, we're gonna pitch an ad campaign. Well, I mean, you did do an advertising agency once as a TV show.
Oh,
so.
yeah, you did. You're right, I did.
But anyway, this week, I have a new title, which you gave me like 2 weeks ago. The audience already knows what it is, hopefully. It is the Diamond Walrus.
Yeah.
So I had to come up with a TV show with that title. And I did this time. I'm not gonna, no curveball with a short story. This is an actual TV show.
It's a TV show, not a movie, not a play. It's a straight up and down 22-minute episodes, 20 episodes a season, 13 seasons. Goes on for way too long.
I don't think this idea has 13
5.
seasons in it. This idea probably couldn't go on longer than a season, to be honest. There's not really. I mean, maybe you could get 2. I don't know. I would run out of ideas after a season because we're just gonna start and then you'll realize what the hell I'm doing. Episode 1, The Diamond Walrus. At the London Art Museum, the museum is set to unveil a new exhibit, a fabulous new sculpture made entirely of diamonds. The curator describes the exhibit to a crowd of onlookers, stopping briefly to scold a group of kids who are too close to a priceless Greek vase. As they take off the cover, a piece of metal junk is revealed with a red note, "Au revoir." The museum curator passes out and knocks over the priceless vase. So, classic, opening of a mystery. So, we cut to, Charlie, Inspector Jacques Cousteau arrives at the museum amongst a media firestorm. The famed French Interpol detective is harassed by reporters, one asking if he likes his new title, the French Sherlock Holmes. He scolds them, saying that there already is a French Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot, the Agatha Christie detective. He laughs at his own joke and goes inside. It's not really even a good joke. And his partner, hands low, essentially the Watson of this story, as they get inside, says Poirot is not even French. He's Belgian. But Jack says that the English don't know the difference. So, hilarious. Jacques then casts off his large cloak and then throws it in the face of Hans, who, with annoyance, holds on to it. They meet the curator, who tells them about the theft and the state of the art laser security system. Jacques tests it with Hans's coat sleeve, cutting it, and then asks how it is shut off. And they learn it is tied to the city grid. So all of London would have to shut off its power for the laser system to go off. And they would need a team of contractors and people from the city to dig up and stabilize the lines to shut off power just for the whole museum, just so they could move or clean it. Hans thinks this is a little ridiculous, but Jacques thinks it's fantastic. As they investigate the crime, they come up with several suspects. We have the museum curator, James Henry, the original donor of the piece, a Russian aristocrat called Victor Khrushchev, and a French supermodel heiress, who publicly said that she would marry whoever cut up the piece and makes her ring out of it. Her name is Marie Laurenet. Laurenet. I didn't actually think about pronouncing this word out loud, so now I don't know how to.
One of my favorite things.
Yeah,
I
great.
love doing that. Yeah. I do it all the time. I'm writing a fantasy story right now, and I came up with a ton of cool names. And now I'm like rereading it, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know how to say any of this.
How do I say these words?
Just fucking vowels.
Yeah, I didn't expect that one. Okay, so as they're going through the museum, Jack sort of not falls in love, but he develops a crush on Marie. And Jack is he's like a very romantic, over-the-top person. So his crush falls deeply, goes into like deep love very quickly. And he's seemingly only trying to, like, his whole investigation very quickly turns from, like, him, actually trying to find the piece and find whoever stole it, to him kind of just wanting to find the piece so he can carve off a part of it and marry Marie. So, Hans is not appreciative of this and is doing most of the actual detective work. You'll get the idea that Jack is very much he's like, the creative, crazy, media hotshot guy, and Hans is the one that actually does all the detective work, and he's kind of boring. He's like this boring German guy who is actually quite good at his job, and Jack's the cool French lover who's like, he feels like James Bond doing all the
Yeah,
actual,
exactly.
doing all the cool
Listen,
stuff.
I know you look at me like a French James Bond. I understand that. I don't know if you need to project this hard.
Oh, you're thinking that this is no, okay. Now, unlike you, Charlie, not every show I do is a projection of our podcast.
I kind of think it is. There's a hardworking guy. He likes rules. You have a deep connection to the German people. I am a lover of the ladies. I don't do a lot see,
Jacques is successful. With the ladies.
Shit!
So, Hans is doing most of the detective work, and they go undercover at a masquerade hosted by Victor, where he's supposedly going to display a new art piece. And Hans is super like, we should go to this masquerade and hide ourselves there and try to figure out if this new art piece that he supposedly has is going to be the piece. And Jacques is like, no, I don't think so. I think we should hang around Marie because clearly, whoever's going to come is going to try to give her the piece, and we can intercept them before they give it to her, and then we can return it. Yeah, we can return it. And Hans like, no, we got to go to this masquerade. And eventually Jacques learns, as he's going to Marie's apartment to, say like, hey, like, I should be around you to make sure nobody tries to bring the stolen piece to you. He catches a courier as they're coming in. He thinks it's somebody that's gonna like rob her or try to kill her or something. And so he grabs the guy and he pulls him out. It's just like some normal postman who is like delivering a letter, and he's all scared and frightened by this crazy French detective who's now trying to strangle him. And he gives Jacques the letter, and he sees it's an invite to the masquerade. So now Jacques wants to go to the masquerade, of course. And Hans is distressed when he hears what Jacques was doing, but as and now he thinks, okay, the art piece is definitely here. This Russian aristocrat who says he donated it clearly didn't, and he was just doing it for like good faith so that he could then hide the piece, because there was like a lot of media pressure to get him to donate it to a museum.
Yeah.
Because it's like a wildly famous piece, and it should be preserved for the public and not some private collector. It's like if somebody owned the Mona Lisa or something like that, there'd be like public pressure for them to release it. And maybe there was even a bill in like the parliament that was gonna like force him to give it up. And so he donated it so that he could steal it back, supposedly. Or at least that's what Hans's theory is now. Or and so
it's a solid theory.
Yeah. So they go to the masquerade, hoping to see the piece. Marie is there, and thinking now Jacques is getting wildly angry and jealous because he's thinking that Victor is going to propose to Marie there, and he's like unbelievably upset and angry that like this is going to happen, but he's trying to portray it as like some sort of he's mad about the injustice of like the art being taken, and not that this girl that he's suddenly in love with is going to get married to this Russian aristocrat. So he of course starts a fight with Victor at the party, in costume still, so he doesn't, Victor has met the detective before, but he doesn't know that it's him because he's got a mask on, because that's how masquerades work. And he starts a fight with Victor at the party and accuses him of stealing the piece. And as they fight with swords, the piece is revealed as they sort of like cut it up with their swords, cut the cloth up with the sword. And it's just the chunk of metal from the museum with the red note on it, au revoir. And Jacques screams it like, it's been stolen again, and like runs out of the party. And Hans and Jacques flee the party, and we get everybody. They gather everybody at the museum, all the suspects, and so in a room full of the suspects, Jacques builds an elaborate story about what happened. He says that Victor desperately wanted the love of Marie, but he already sold the piece to the museum and was facing pressure to sell it from Parliament. So he needed to keep up with it. He needed to get it back so that he could marry her. And he trained a team of Russian assassins to expertly sneak into the museum and use their tiny hands. It's very important that they have tiny hands, Shirley, because they have to move the piece through the lasers. And because the piece is made of diamonds, it doesn't get shredded by the lasers. So they just sort of like these tiny-handed assassins all move this diamond sculpture through the lasers, and bring it out of the place.
I do like the idea of this Russian oligarch guy, like, just hosting, like, tiny hand auditions. Come to me, the smallest hands in all of Russia. Like, Prince Charming trying to find Cinderella with the shoe. But it's just like, see, here's a pair of gloves. If they fit, you're in.
That'd be a funny addition to, like, this, like, him explaining the story here, that he, like, goes on a whole tangent about that. Because I was thinking, like, as he's doing, like, this monologue about how the story happened, like, this part is animated and the normal show's in live action.
Yeah. That's cool.
So we're seeing, like, this, and I think kind of like a paperish animation, like, where, like, it looks kind of, like, scribbly and, like, not like clean cut, like, animation, like an animated TV show, like, very, sort of paper,
like, maybe, like, Russian paper dolls. Maybe we could make it look like that. Tie into the Russian thing a little bit.
Russian paper doll? You mean Russian nesting dolls? Russian paper dolls a thing?
I think paper dolls are a thing. I don't know if it is specifically Russian. But yes, Russian nesting dolls is what I meant.
Yeah, no, there's no such thing as Russian paper dolls. I mean, I'm sure there are Russian paper dolls, but I don't think they're, like, a famous thing.
They're not.
So these tiny hand thief assassins come and they steal a piece made of diamond that's gonna go through the lasers, blah blah blah. And he throws the masquerade party because he's then going to he's gonna marry Marie, but it gets stolen again, and this new thief teases him by putting the fake piece that he put in the museum into his own house, you know, as like a way to get him back. And Jacques people are like, but then who's the thief? And so Jacques turns and he looks at the museum curator. And he said he was in on the Victor's plot from the very beginning, but he always planned to steal it back and backstab him so you could sell it on the black market. And he said he was suspicious of the curator once he realized that he mislabeled a Roman vase as Greek. Like, clearly he's not a professional curator. Like, he's clearly not a real museum guy, because he was wrong about this vase. He must have, you know, he's saying he, like, faked his credentials to get into the museum so he could steal this piece, and his whole plan was about selling it on the black market. And he's like, and then they're like, where people are like, well, but where is it? And he's like, it's still hidden in the back of the museum where no one would ever look, you know, because, like, people assume that if somebody steals something, they're gonna take it out of the museum, not just put it back in storage exactly where it was before it was put on display. And everyone's amazed at what he's saying, because they go back into the back room and it's right there. Hans is the most amazed, because he interrupts and he's like, I don't know how you did it. You somehow nailed exactly who the thief was and got the location perfectly right, but the entire story is complete and utter bullshit.
I was gonna say, surely that's the reveal.
Victor had the masquerade they're at. Victor bought the piece of metal junk because the story of the Diamond Walrus being stolen was, like, really big news, and he liked the idea of owning the fake art piece. Like, he had very publicly in the newspaper bought the fake art piece and was then gonna display it at his masquerade. Victor was also very publicly gay and friends with Marie, so clearly he was not going to marry her. And yes, the curator stole it, but it was never moved. The piece was never actually brought and put in between the lasers. It was always a metal sculpture that was put in, so that, like, they never had to, and it was always hidden under a tarp, so no one knew. So that, you know, the piece was never ever taken out of the of the museum. It was always, or of the lasers, because it was always a fake piece in there from the beginning. And the curator just left the original back in the back of the museum. And Hans figured this out because it was one of the first things he checked very on, because the sculpture was very heavy, and he's like, clearly, like, no normal thief could have, like, gotten this out of here without, like, you know, a crane or, like, a dozen dudes and forklifts and all this kinds of stuff. Like, this is a massive job to get this out of here. Like, this could not be done by a bunch of assassins with tiny hands. Like, that wouldn't make any. Why do they have to be assassins as well? Why do they have to be? They could just be thieves.
Yeah,
no one died here.
I was wondering that.
Also, finally, the vase was clearly Egyptian. It's got hieroglyphics on it. So, yes, the curator was wrong that it was not not a Greek vase, but also wasn't a Roman vase. It's clearly an Egyptian vase. So none of that makes any sense. And Jacques just sort of shrugs his shoulders and tells Hans to arrest the curator. And as Hans goes and does all the paperwork and brings the curator away, Jacques goes up to Marie, and Marie asks him if the thing about Victor is, or he asks her if the thing about Victor is true. You know, Victor being gay and not trying to marry her. And she says, yeah, of course. And so Jacques reaches into his pocket. He pulls out a diamond ring that looks suspiciously like the same kinds of diamonds on the real Diamond Walrus. And she asks if it's part of the sculpture, and he says yes. And they get married, and a reporter asks if the ring really was part of the Diamond Walrus. And Jacques says, "We will never know." And then walks away, and the wedding car leaves.
Yeah.
And the reporter then pans over to Hans, who's like, "No, it's clearly not. It's like not even. I don't even think that's a diamond. I think that's what's it called? Zirconium, the fake diamond shit.
Fake diamond. I don't know. I think he won it in a claw machine. I didn't even see him buy it.
Yeah, I watched him take it. I watched him win it in an arcade when we were trying to solve the case.
Yeah,
at a Denny's.
Yeah, exactly. I gave him a handful of quarters so he could play while I went and did some investigating. And he came back and he held it out. He was so proud.
Yeah. So that was episode 1 of the Diamond Walrus.
I like it.
That's my only full episode. I'll describe the 2 other episode ideas that I have now. Episode 2, in a small military base built in a fake Middle Eastern country, a group of U.S. soldiers are taking part in an experimental psychic task force. They try to justify their budget through predicting terrorist attacks and planning bombings. Only one of them seems to get anything right, with a 95% hit rate. So it's actually kind of insane. This guy's like nailing every time there's going to be a bomb threat or something like that. And the others go off into the desert, searching for the mystical Diamond Walrus, which the guy that's nearly always getting the threats right says is like how he tells this story about how he was a soldier in Afghanistan, and he was or maybe not Afghanistan, like a fake Middle Eastern country. I don't want to make this anything real.
Yeah. Iran.
And like he was a soldier, and his platoon blew up, and he was all alone in the desert. He was wandering, and he found this mystical Diamond Walrus, a guru. So not like an actual, like the guy was called like the Diamond Walrus, like it's like a title. It's not like an actual thing.
Yeah.
And this person taught him how to be a psychic in this like small oasis in the desert. It's very like Jedi, like Star Warsy kind of stuff. And so the other dudes that are in the unit go off in the desert searching for the mystical Diamond Walrus, and they wander in on this journey of like self-discovery, kind of very Stand By Me kind of ish.
Yeah.
And they all slowly die along the way. Only one makes it back thinking he's been enlightened. He's because he like finds a mirage in the.
I was gonna say he sees a giant diamond walrus like descend from on high and like touch him on the top of his head, and he's like, oh, falls to his knees in the desert and feels the power over him, and in reality he's just lost his mind and pissed his pants in the desert.
Yeah. And so he finally makes it back to the base, only to find that it's been destroyed, and the guy with the 95% hit rate was actually just an enemy spy, and that's why he got everything right.
I was gonna say, surely he was actually planning the bombings or whatever.
Yeah, it was exactly that. He was giving them like dud information that the other side knew was that they were gonna know, so they never would put like a lot of dudes there, or like it was like a bomb that they wanted to get diffused, just so that they could implant this guy further into the government, this military. Episode 3, my last idea. An older archaeologist reunites with his son as they search for the mysterious Incan artifact, the Diamond Walrus. They go on a journey into temples and across the worlds, and it turns out that this was just an excuse for them to spend time together, and the Incans didn't even know the existence of walruses.
I was going to say,
which is where you'll find out.
Walruses were not an Incan thing. I like every question I have, you're answering, Jake. We're like
thank you.
We're an Ouroboros. We're a snake eating its own tail, you know?
Yeah, like we'll build it up from the start where it'll be like this kid's like parents got divorced when he was young, and the dad just sort of got like absorbed in his work, and now he feels bad about how he didn't spend any time with his son. So he comes up with this like Indiana Jones style adventure of like him and his son going across the world and going to all these crazy temples and stuff, and when they'll get into like an actual serious like Indiana Jones situation of fighting Nazis, and there's actually a temple with some artifact, And as they're like going through traps near the end, and they finally find the piece, and it's not a diamond walrus. That's when he reveals like, there never was a diamond walrus. Like I didn't expect any of this to happen. I didn't know. I just wanted to spend some time with you because I felt bad because I was never around, and like Diane was always crapping on me for like not treating my son well, and I felt like we could do some father-son stuff, and this got really out of hand really quickly, and
it's got scary. I can't
believe half the shit I was just making up turned out to be real.
Can you believe that Nazis are there? They weren't even neo-Nazis. They were actual goddamn Nazis.
Yeah.
German accents and everything was wild. Yeah, I like
Those
that.
are my 3 ideas for the Diamond Walrus. Obviously, as you can tell now, it's an anthology show.
Mm-hmm.
It's all I could come up with for the Diamond Walrus. My first idea, I was like, do I make this like a continuous, like silly... Because my idea was like the Pink Panther. That was my first thought when I thought of the Diamond Walrus. And so I wrote that, and then I was like, I don't really want to make a TV show that's like I don't know how long this detective show, how many if it has really legs or anything. It's like I've got like I could do maybe 2 or 3 episodes of that. But I think rotating thing where the Diamond Walrus is something different every episode can be fun.
And yeah, I mean, I've got like there's so many things it could be. Right? Like I was thinking like, oh, it could be like a crazy, super rare record that was printed in the 70s, and you have like a private eye in LA, and they have to like find it in some like, high-end espionage sort of Sunset Boulevard style. Or you could do kind of like something in the middle of the country, kind of make it like a Hills Have Eyes situation, and all of these crazy fucking redneck people in the woods have been worshiping this diamond walrus, and it's been driving them insane. There's a million different cool ideas that you could have with that. I like it. I like the idea. I like the diamond walrus.
Thank you. I had one idea that I didn't really flesh out, which was we'd have like aliens invade Earth, and it was like space walruses, and their leader was the Diamond Walrus.
Diamond Walrus. I like that.
Yeah. I don't know how that ends. Maybe they find out that the U.S. or not the U.S. the world is killing walruses for like. I don't know what we do with walruses.
I think we take their tusks, maybe.
Whatever we do with walruses, the space walruses are appalled by this, and so they take all the walruses in the world and they fly off into space with them.
Good. I like that. I love the idea of them just being like, all right, walruses, no other animals. We're going to every zoo. We're going to every ocean. We're just going to get you all in a big shipping container and take you into space.
The gimmick of that could be that humans think that the walruses are going to destroy the world because of what they did to the walruses.
Because that's what we would do.
They're really just stealing all the walruses and leaving.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like that episode of Rick and Morty with the dinosaurs when they come back to Earth, and they're kind of like, Jesus Christ, you guys are so ridiculous. We're not as bad as you, Yeah. We're just gonna take our shit and leave. I do like that. All right. Well, I enjoyed the Diamond Walrus. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I've been your host, Charles. Along with me, as always, but my co-host, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. If you like what you heard here and you want to hear more, please give a like, follow, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat. And remember, we'll be here next week with a brand new television series for you to imagine and enjoy. And the title of that series shall be... What is it, Jake? Hit me with it.
I don't remember. Did I already tell you?
Yeah, you already told me, and I forgot. All the Quiet Horses. That's all.
Oh, yes.
All the Quiet Horses.
I think I got that from a song. I don't really remember, to be honest. I got it from somewhere.
It's something. I thought it was like a Hemingway thing, but that's a different thing. It is from a song. I googled it. But yeah, I'm excited.
Oh no, the song's "All the Tired Horses," and I just changed it to "Quiet." That's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a Bob Dylan song called "All the Tired Horses."
Well, it's gonna be.
I made it all the quiet horses.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're gonna do. It's probably gonna be a western. That's my guess. That was my thought.
Nah, it's gonna be like Animal Farm.
It's gonna be a really emotional story about a young woman who takes up horseback riding to get over the death of
her brother.
Brother.
Yeah.
There we go.
No, it's gonna be like Thomas the Tank Engine, where the joke is that they aren't quiet.
And they're also not horses. It's about trains.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what if the trains just, instead of having people faces, they had horse faces? That'd be horrible. Oh. I hate that. That's a horrible image.
Or it's about really depressed horses and how they overcome their depression.
Yes! Oh, that's actually a great idea. Horse, like horse group therapy.
Yeah, it's basically BoJack Horseman, except no comedy at all. It's just sad.
And they're not anthropomorphic. They are regular horses.
Yeah, there's actually no, like, they're just talking in, like, horse the whole, like, there's no English. It's just the horse sounds, the whole thing.
European,
so
very
you're just
European.
Listening to neighs
I like that.
over and over again. Mm-hmm.
Make it like a...
And you'll like it. You'll love it. It'll be the best thing you've ever listened to.
Maybe
just
it'll make it like
45
coffee
minutes
and
of
cigarettes.
neighs over and over again.
Like that movie, Coffee and Cigarettes, and it's like, I'll just have a bunch of vignettes of, like, famous actors having a conversation, and it's, like, all, like, pseudo-improv and very naturalistic, except their scene partners are always horses. And the actors just have to act like they're having a conversation with the horse, but it's a horse. So it's like taking a piss in the scene, and it's eating, trying to eat someone's coat,
Takes a dump.
Yeah, it's got a boner for no reason, and you're like, oh god, it's staring at me. I don't like it.
Maybe it could be like one of those videos of those people that clean the horse hooves.
Yeah,
you know, those like very satisfying
very
videos.
satisfying. I thought you were gonna say the other thing that gets cleaned on horses that's disgusting and not satisfying.
I don't know what that is. So thank you everyone for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. Whatever horrible thing Charlie was about to say.
I'll tell you next week.
I hope you enjoyed and liked listening, and I'll cut out next week whatever Charlie says, so don't be afraid to listen to the next episode. Yeah, have a good one.
Bye.